with Saint Luminus. Thank you for joining me, my friends. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel and tap that notification bell so you will know the next time I put out a video. So today I wanted to talk about Sylvester Stallone. Now, what the hell does Sylvester Stallone have to do with making music, playing guitar? And I gotta tell you, a lot. So here's the deal. Many years ago, a friend of mine, she invited me to a screening of the movie Creed. So this is about 2015. And it was a very special screening because I had a Q&A session afterwards with Sylvester Stallone. And the majority of the audience were people in industry, or at least in the film industry, or at least, people trying to get in. So me, I just went just to hang out with my friend. So we see the movie. Afterwards, Sylvester Stallone comes up and there's a moderator who does a little Q&A session. And there was a young guy in his 20s who was an up-and-coming director or producer. This is what he wanted to do. And he wanted to know from Sylvester, he asked him, hey, how do you recommend I get started and really get in there into directing and writing films? And Sylvester had a great answer. Here is what Sylvester Stallone told this young man. Find some films you really like and sit down and transcribe it. Transcribe the script, stop, rewind, play, stop, rewind, and write out the script for this film. And then after you've written out the script, go ahead and start to rewrite the script a little bit in your own way. Change a line, with your thought that, this is the way I would have written the line. I kind of like this. And he said, that's what I did before I did Rocky. I was just watching films on VHS tape, which must have been expensive back then. But he was watching VHS tapes and transcribing the scripts and changing the lines in the script as he see fit, because he thought, I think this line might be better. And that was the advice he gave this young man. So the question is, how does this apply to you? You guys are the guitar player or a music maker. Maybe you play piano or saxophone, or you're a singer. And I think this is very interesting because Sylvester is showing, here's something that's well known that you really like, and there's communication going on with this script. So you got to sit down, transcribe it, and then mold it into your own little thing. Much the same way we need to do as musicians. If there's a song you really like, even if you've only played for a short period of time, find the song that you really like and sit down and transcribe it. Now, the deal is, it's much easier to transcribe spoken language. That is going to be a little bit easier than trying to transcribe music unless you have perfect pitch. Most of us don't. So you're going to have to learn how to really listen and transcribe things. But it is no different than what Sylvester Stallone suggested. Sit your ass down and transcribe it. And this is something I want to recommend to all of you. If you haven't ever sat down and transcribed a song and you're only playing off of tab, I highly recommend you get a teacher that will teach you how to listen and how to transcribe music. Now, don't go crazy. Don't go, transcribing Yngwie Malmsteen or John Petrucci if you've never transcribed songs before, because those things are a little bit more complicated, a little harder to really transcribe because there's so much going on. But find a song that you like that is not crazy and transcribe it. Transcribe the solo, transcribe the chords. Why? Because this is the way the song is communicating with you. You're trying to learn this language and this vocabulary. And the same thing with Sylvester Stallone, suggesting to the students, or he wasn't a student, but he was a young guy, suggesting to him, learn the vocabulary, learn how scripts are written by actually transcribing real scripts from films you like. Don't sit there and watch YouTube videos or watch online lessons from schools showing you how to write scripts. Learn by actually doing it. Transcribe the real deal. And this is what I'm recommending to you guys. Find that song, transcribe the chords, transcribe the guitar part. If you're a piano player, transcribe the piano part, the keyboard part, transcribe the sax part. It doesn't even have to be the whole thing. Just take a little bit. Now, when you're done with that and you've transcribed the song, or at least a little piece of the song, now you gotta massage it and change it a little to something that you think sounds better, or just different, or something that sounds like you. And this, in essence, is what Sylvester Stallone was trying to communicate. Now, I'm not a huge Sylvester Stallone fan, but I do have respect for the guy, and I do love Rocky. It is an extremely good film. Other than that, I'm not a huge Sylvester Stallone fan, but mad respect, and he knows what he's talking about. So I'm not a film person, I don't really care that much about the industry, but it is interesting, the similarities, because it's music and film are both entertainment. And the suggestion by Sylvester, transcribe. The suggestion to you, transcribe. If you ask a lot of guitar players or read interviews from the big names, I mean big, guess what they're gonna say? They say they sat there all day learning solos. Eddie Van Halen, I remember reading that in interviews long ago. Since he didn't have digital technology, this is the 70s, he had a record player. And the only way he could take some of these fast licks and slow them down is he had to take the vinyl player, these 45s, and slow them down to 33 1/3 to try and get the lick. You know, unfortunate part is also tuned down a little bit. So it was much harder for people like Eddie Van Halen way back in the day. It was much harder to transcribe. But nevertheless, he put in the work and developed a good ear. And this is what you should go and do. I transcribe songs as much as I can because it's going to develop my ear, and it's kind of fun to unlock the secret, take a little lick and say, you know, I'm going to change that. Let me do this instead. Or what if I take those chords and I do this, make the chords, the chord progression like this instead of what that person did. So why don't we go through some quick examples, and I'm going to show you what I would do. I'm going to pick a little lick, I'm going to pick a chord progression, and I'm going to show you, well, this is what I would do. Okay, so as an example, let's take that beginning lick in Cliffs of Dover. You know, before the band kicks in, Eric does a whole bunch of this amazing guitar solo stuff. So let's take that. I did transcribe this song this piece many years ago because I just had to know that little piece because it's just such a cool lick. Okay, so Eric hits the open E string, that's easy. That's Eric's lick from Cliffs of Dover. So now I'm gonna change it a little bit. So it's in the key of E minor. Oh, at least that little bit. I mean, the overall song is in G, if I'm not mistaken. But that is still an E minor lick. In my head, that is an E minor lick. Okay, so Eric went ahead and took this note, the G, to bend it up to A. But since I feel, you know, it's an E minor, what I would like to do is take this, the F sharp, and just bend it up a half step. Why? Because over the years, I really like that sound of these little half-step bends that are in key. So I would do, it just sounds really cool to me. And then I change the rest of the lick, but keep the vibe the same. Okay, very different from what Eric did, right? I'll go ahead and play it again. I'll play it Eric's way first and then my way second. And you can hear the vibe is the same, but it's definitely a different lick. My way. good one is David Gilmour's solo in Mother. Very simple lick, a G, and he bends the C up to a D. Okay, so I'm gonna play David Gilmour's way, that intro, and I'm gonna show you what I might try to match the chord because it is a G chord playing. Okay, so this is Gilmour's idea. And, you know, there's more. We're gonna keep this small, right? This is not a lesson on how to play that solo. You can find plenty of videos on this. So Gilmour did this. That's such a cool opening. So what I might do, because it's a G chord, is I might go over here, and again, I know that the underlying chord is a G chord, so I'm gonna bend this note A to be the B. So I might change it up a little bit. So yeah, you can see I took Gilmour's little bum bum, and I added a little extra da dum da. So it's a little different. I transcribed David's solo, and then I gave it my own little tweak that I'm like, oh, I think this would be maybe not even necessarily better, but just something different. That's gonna sound fresh and exciting, but it's based on transcribing Gilmour's solo. So you guys, I want you to do the same thing over there. Find a song you really like, transcribe some chords, transcribe a few licks. If you don't know how to do that, again, find a teacher to teach you how to transcribe music. You could even contact me. If you trust me, contact me. We can set up lessons to show you how to effectively start to transcribe songs and licks. You won't regret it. So your thing here today, let me know in the comments, what song are you gonna transcribe? What little lick are you gonna transcribe and then make into your own? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to really know. As for me, what did I just transcribe lately? Something you would never expect. Sasha from Hank Marvin. I just transcribed the entire song, the chord changes, and the first two notes I transcribed them, but I guess still gotta transcribe the rest of the melody. This is just something very simple from Sylvester Stallone, his advice to a young filmmaker, and I'm hoping that guy took his advice. His advice was to transcribe and learn. Transcribe exactly as is, and now go ahead and tweak it into your own little thing, especially if you think it's something that could be a little bit better. Don't be afraid to say, I think this sounds better than what Gilmour did, or what Eric Clapton did, whoever your favorite guitar player is, because music by itself is subjective. As far as what's good, everyone has a different opinion. So don't be afraid to change things into a way that you think sounded better than your hero did it. That's all part of the process. Do it. Thanks for joining me here today on Saint Luminus. I hope you found the Sylvester Stallone advice useful. Again, let me know in the comments about what song you're gonna transcribe. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell, and I will talk to you guys real soon.